Mojo here, riding at night. Hell yeah. And I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to ride at night.
I'd appreciate your input.
Now these tips are for the rider that is away from the city. As you can tell, I'm not in the middle of a freaking city. So these tips are going to be for you. So the first tip is pretty obvious, and it's going to be to reduce your speed. You want to reduce your speed so it gives you the most amount of time, most amount of reaction time if an animal were to jump out in front. I live in the middle of Illinois, central Illinois, so we see quite a bit of deer. There's also a bunch of raccoons that'll jump out in the middle of the road. So you want to reduce your speed. The next tip is to keep an eye out. Don't be dicking around, don't be looking around. Freaking keep your eyes on the road and concentrate on what you're doing. When you're riding at night, it's a whole different animal. You need to stay focused and be ready for anything. The next one is what I think is probably the most important. And that is when a car is in front of you, I like to stay directly behind that car. You'll see if you do it, when you're riding at night in the middle of the country, you don't want that gap where your light doesn't hit their car. If there's that black, you see out in front of my lights, you see where it gets black, you want that to be a car. Here, I'll go to low beam real quick. You want that darkness to be a car. Because then you kind of chain your lights together, and then you'll be able to tell if there's an animal coming out front, and you'll be able to react because you'll still have enough time to hit the brakes when you see the brakes on the other car. Now my last tip, this is only if you can do this. I know some of you might not be able to do this, but my last tip is to choose routes that go through small towns. It will hopefully reduce the amount of animals that are traveling on that road because there are towns around. So you can see out there, there's a little town over there. I would try, if that was a part of my route, I would try to go through that town. Let me tell you, nighttime riding is not that bad. It's not that scary. You just have to be cautious. You can't be going 125 miles per hour around the turn and be surprised when a freaking animal jumps out in front of you. That's just stupid. You gotta be smart. Riding at night is all business.